The stars were calm that night. Humanity had waited decades for this moment. Peace. A message had come from the outer edges of the galaxy, from an alien coalition calling themselves the Zerithians. They promised a treaty, a new era of friendship, and advanced technology for human use. Every news channel broadcast it. Every world celebrated. Captain Arin Sorel stood on the bridge of the starship Vigilant, looking out at the endless black. He was not celebrating. His instincts screamed danger. Something about the message felt wrong. Too perfect, too polished. The Zerithians were famous for their cunning, and Arin had fought in border skirmishes before. He had seen what their ships could do. Captain, Lieutenant Mara said, pointing at the screen, the transmission just ended. World leaders are sending fleets to the signing ceremony. Everyone believes it. Arin nodded slowly. Everyone except us, he said. His eyes scanned the nearby sector. The sensors picked up alien ships moving in unusual patterns. Keep monitoring. Something isn't right. Meanwhile, on Earth, the celebrations reached a fever pitch. Flags flew, people cheered, and leaders shook hands on video feeds that spanned the solar system. Finally, President Leiden said, a new dawn for humanity. But deep down, Arin feared this dawn would burn too bright and too fast. Hours later, the first strike came. A small human colony on the outskirts of the Orion sector disappeared in a flash of blue light. The communication arrays went silent. Emergency signals barely made it to the command centers. Panic spread. Arin's bridge erupted with activity. Sir, Colony 9's gone, shouted Ensign Corps. We're receiving only debris readings. Arin's jaw tightened. Plot a course. We move immediately. Prepare for combat readiness. This is no accident. The journey to Colony 9 was tense. Every blinking light, every sensor ping, sent a shiver down the crew's spines. Outside the hull, the stars seemed colder than ever. Silence weighed on them, heavier than gravity. When they arrived, the sight shocked them. Entire cities were reduced to glowing ruins. Fires burned in vacuum pockets. Alien energy still crackling through the wreckage. Arin walked the observation deck slowly, studying the devastation. They came for peace, Mara whispered, voice trembling, and left this. Arin's eyes narrowed. This was never peace. It was a trap. And now, they know humanity is vulnerable. The crew worked quickly, recovering survivors and scanning for alien signatures. They found something disturbing. Traces of a weapon never seen before, moving faster than human technology allowed. Captain, Corps said, pointing at the readings. This is unlike anything in our arsenal. They could wipe out Earth if they wanted. Arin felt a cold weight in his chest. He clenched his fists. Then we will make sure they don't get the chance. That night, Arin couldn't sleep. The stars outside seemed to mock him, distant and uncaring. He walked to the observation deck, alone, and watched the alien ships in the distance. Their formation was precise, almost ceremonial. But Arin knew it was war choreography, not friendship. A sudden alert jolted him upright. Incoming message, the ship's AI announced. The screen flickered, revealing a hologram of a Zerithian commander, tall and slim, with eyes that glowed faintly green. Humans, the alien said, voice smooth, almost soothing. We bring gifts. Accept our treaty and enter a golden age. Arin stared at the figure, unblinking. Gifts? He muttered under his breath. You call this destruction a gift? He turned to his crew. Prepare defensive protocols. Double shields, ready all weapons. Notify Earth Command. This is a negotiation. It's an ambush. And we must survive it. The bridge buzzed with tension. Everyone moved with precision. But the fear was palpable. Humans were facing an enemy unlike any before. And yet, deep inside, Arin felt a spark of defiance. Humanity had survived impossible odds before. They would do it again. The alien hologram ended. Silence fell over the Vigilant. Outside, the stars remained calm, but Arin knew the peace promised by the Zerithians was over. The false promise had been revealed, and the war had just begun. Arin clenched his fists and whispered to himself, They think we will kneel, they are wrong. Humanity does not surrender. The camera pans out from the ship, floating against the black void of space, alien lights flickering in the distance. Somewhere in that darkness, the Zerithian fleet was waiting. But so was humanity, angry, unbroken, and ready to fight. The first spark of resistance had been lit, and no alien force, no matter how advanced, would extinguish it. The silence of space broke with sudden alarm. Warning lights flashed red across the bridge of the Vigilant. Sensors picked up dozens of alien vessels approaching fast, their shapes unfamiliar, sleek, and menacing. Captain Arin Sorel's jaw tightened. This was it, the first real strike. Enemy fleet detected, bearing 270 degrees. Speed, maximum, Ensign Core shouted. His fingers flew across the controls, trying to track the rapidly closing ships. They're cutting off the jump lanes to Earth. Arin leaned over the console. All weapons ready. Shields at full. Notify Earth Command. They need to brace for impact. This is the beginning. The bridge hummed with tension. Crew members moved with precision, but fear lingered in every corner. Humans had never faced enemies like the Zerithians before. Their tech was superior, faster, deadlier. Every move would cost lives. Outside, the stars suddenly lit up as the first alien ships unleashed energy blasts. They streaked through space like deadly comets, exploding against the Vigilant shields. The hull shook violently. Warning sirens screamed. Shields holding barely. Core yelled. Sparks flew from the panels. Mara gritted her teeth. They're stronger than we expected. Arin's mind raced. Maneuver 37 Alpha. Draw them into the asteroid belt. Use terrain to our advantage. The Vigilant twisted sharply, skimming past massive rocks floating in the void. Alien ships followed, firing relentlessly. Explosions lit the darkness, sending shards of metal and rock spinning in every direction. The humans used the debris to hide, dodge, and counterattack. Despite their clever tactics, the losses mounted. Several smaller human fighters were destroyed, vaporized before they could even fire. Arin gritted his teeth. Humanity's courage alone was not enough. They needed a miracle or something they could exploit. Captain, Mara said, voice shaking, they're using coordinated strikes. It's like they know our every move. Arin's eyes narrowed. Then we'll give them a move they won't expect. Deploy drones in a spread pattern. Let them think we're retreating. Then ambush from behind. The crew worked quickly. Tiny drones zipped to the battlefield, carrying explosive charges and sensor jammers. As the alien ships pursued the Vigilant, the drones detonated, sending shock waves to the enemy formation. One by one, alien vessels were disabled, their precise coordination disrupted. But the victory was temporary. Another wave of larger ships entered the sector, their weapons far stronger. The Vigilant shook violently, alarms blaring. Crew members were thrown off balance. Smoke filled the corridors. Arin gritted his teeth and shouted, "Hold the line! Focus on the lead ship. We hit it first, then fall back." They fired all available weapons, energy beams slicing through space. The lead alien vessel exploded in a burst of light, momentarily blinding everyone. But more ships were coming. The battle was far from over. Amid the chaos, Arin noticed something strange. The alien ships seemed cautious. They hesitated, adjusting their formation slightly. He studied the sensor readings, heart pounding. "They're learning our tactics," he muttered. "But we've seen patterns. We can exploit them." The crew rallied around him, their fear replaced by determination. Humanity had faced overwhelming odds before, and they had survived. This was no different. Every human aboard the Vigilant fought with desperation and courage, knowing that failure meant the destruction of entire colonies, maybe even Earth itself. Hours passed like minutes. The first strike had turned into a long, brutal dance of destruction. The Vigilant and its crew barely held together, but they managed to inflict damage on the alien fleet. Smoke trailed from the remaining alien ships as they retreated slightly, regrouping in the darkness. Arin wiped sweat from his brow. This isn't over. They'll come back, stronger, but we showed them something tonight. Human courage is unpredictable. They can't fully control us. Mara looked at him, wide-eyed. We survived, but at what cost? The colonies, her voice faltered. Arin placed a firm hand on her shoulder. We will survive. Humanity has a way of rising when the odds are against us. We will rebuild. And when they strike again, we'll be ready. As the Vigilant limped back to the nearest safe station for repairs, Arin stared out at the stars. The first strike had tested them. Humanity had bled, but it had not broken. The fire of resistance burned brighter than ever in the hearts of every human watching the skies. Somewhere in the darkness, the Zerithian commanders observed the retreat. They had underestimated humanity's resilience. They had assumed fear and chaos would cripple them. But humans were different. Unpredictable, stubborn, and willing to fight to the last breath. The battle had ended, but the war was far from over. And Captain Arin Sorel knew that the next encounter would demand everything humanity had, and more. He whispered to himself, watching the alien lights fade into distance. They came for peace, but humanity will not kneel. The stars remained silent, but the fire in human hearts burned louder than ever. The Vigilant floated through the darkness of space, battered but unbroken. Smoke still lingered in the corridors, and the crew moved with a quiet tension. Captain Arin Sorel walked along the bridge, eyes scanning the stars. Humanity had survived the first strike, but the threat of the Zerithians loomed larger than ever. Captain, Ensign Corps said, pointing at the sensor readings. We're detecting something unusual. Debris, alien debris. Could be from the lead ship we destroyed. Arin leaned over the console. Show me. The screen flickered, revealing fragments of alien metal, strange energy patterns, and a faint signal pulsing from within. Bring it aboard. Carefully. The crew worked quickly, dragging the debris into the Vigilant's cargo bay. The alien metal shimmered with a strange glow, almost alive. Arin studied it closely. This is advanced, he muttered. Far beyond anything humans have. If we can understand it, maybe we can turn the tide. Lieutenant Mara tapped at a console. Captain, I'm detecting a coded message embedded in energy. It's not in any human language. Arin's eyes narrowed. Translate it. We need to know what they were hiding. Hours passed as the crew worked to decode the alien message. The tension was unbearable. Every blink of a sensor could mean an enemy ship approaching. But finally, a fragment of understanding appeared. The aliens had left a warning, not for humans, but for each other. Their ships were designed with a weakness, a flaw in their energy shields, a predictable sequence in their attacks. Arin clenched his fists. They think they're invincible, but they aren't. He gathered the senior officers in the strategy room. Listen closely. The Zerithians have a pattern in their attacks. If we exploit it, we can strike back effectively. But it's risky, one wrong move and we're finished. Mara frowned. Captain, it's dangerous. Their weapons are faster than anything we have. Even with this knowledge, Arin nodded. I know, but it's our best chance. We can't just wait to be destroyed. Humans adapt. Humans fight back. That's our strength. Meanwhile, the crew discovered more than just weaknesses. Among the debris was a device, a small, cube-shaped object that pulsed with energy. It seemed to respond to the Vigilant systems. Mara carefully connected it to the ship's interface. The holographic display flickered, revealing star maps, fleet movements, and energy signatures across the galaxy. Arin stared at the maps. This is their network. Their fleet positions, their communication nodes. If we can use this, his voice trailed off. The possibilities were enormous, but so were the risks. Suddenly, an alert blared. Sensors picked up movement at the edge of the debris field. Captain, incoming ship small, fast. Looks like a scout, Corps shouted. Arin's eyes narrowed. They've found us. Battle stations now. The Vigilant maneuvered quickly, dodging blasts from the tiny scout ship. Arin realized it was observing them, likely scanning the alien debris they had recovered. We can't let them report this, he muttered. Prepare a countermeasure. Disrupt their sensors. Disable the scout. A tense chase ensued. The scout darted to the debris field, firing energy pulses that tore through space. The Vigilant dodged skillfully, using the floating wreckage as cover. Finally, Mara fired a precise shot. The scout erupted in a flash of light, destroyed before it could escape. Arin exhaled slowly. Good work. But this proves our point. They're watching. They know we're learning. He turned to his officers. We have a choice. We can stay hidden and analyze this text slowly, or we can strike while we have the advantage. Every moment we wait, they grow stronger. Mara looked at him, uncertainty in her eyes. And if we fail? Arin's gaze was steady. Then humanity falls. But if we succeed, we change the war entirely. We turn their strength into their weakness. That night, Arin walked the observation deck alone. The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the human struggle. The crew slept, exhausted but alert. He touched the railing, feeling the faint hum of the alien debris below. They think they control everything, he whispered to himself. But humans never give up. We learn. We adapt. We fight back. The Vigilant drifted through the void, carrying secrets that could shift the balance of the galaxy. Somewhere out there, the Zerithians plotted their next move. They assumed humans were weak, predictable, and afraid. They were wrong. Arin turned from the stars, determination burning in his eyes. The war was far from over, but for the first time, humanity had a real advantage, a chance to fight back. The void was quiet again, but in its silence, the spark of rebellion flickered, a spark that could ignite into a fire no alien force could extinguish. And Captain Arin Sorel knew it. Humanity was learning. Humanity was ready. The Vigilant emerged from the shadow of the asteroid field, battered but alive. Captain Arin Sorel stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the dark void ahead. The Zerithians had attacked first, but now it was humanity's turn. The fragment of alien tech they had recovered held secrets, and human ingenuity could turn those secrets into weapons. Captain, Lieutenant Mara said, pointing at the star map, we've identified several weak points in the alien fleet from the debris. If we target them precisely, we can disable their ships without full-scale battle. Arin's eyes narrowed. Perfect. Prepare a strike team. We'll hit them where it hurts and vanish before they know what hit them. The crew worked quickly. Small, modified fighters were loaded with captured alien tech and experimental human weapons. The plan was simple but dangerous. Guerrilla attacks, fast, precise, and unpredictable. Humans would not fight on the aliens' terms. They would create chaos in their ranks. The first ambush was brutal. The human fighters darted through the asteroid field, appearing suddenly near an isolated alien vessel. Energy pulses streaked through space. One precise shot struck the ship's shield generator, and the alien vessel faltered, its systems flickering. Direct hit. Corps shouted, cheering. They didn't see it coming. Arin allowed himself a brief smile. Good. Keep moving. Strike fast, then disappear. Over the next few hours, the human squadron executed ambush after ambush. Each attack was calculated, using the alien tech against them. Small enemy patrols were destroyed. Supply lines were sabotaged. Chaos spread through the Zerithian fleet, but it was not without cost. Several human fighters were lost, vaporized in moments. Mara's voice trembled as she relayed reports. Captain, another squadron just gone. Arin clenched his jaw. We fight or we die. That's the choice. Keep going. Humanity will not be broken by fear. Amid the chaos, the humans discovered something unexpected. The Zerithians had never fought an enemy like this. One that adapted so quickly, one that was clever and unpredictable. Their coordination faltered, their formations broke, and their attacks became less precise. Arin realized this was humanity's strength. They were resourceful. They were stubborn. And above all, they were willing to sacrifice everything to survive. Suddenly, an alert blared. A larger alien ship appeared on the horizon, its weapons far stronger than anything humans had faced before. It was a trap designed to lure them into a kill zone. Captain, Mara shouted, they've drawn us in. Arin's mind raced. Not yet. We turned the trap against them. Everyone follow my lead. The Vigilant and its squadron feigned retreat, drawing a massive alien ship into the asteroid field. As the alien vessel pursued, human fighters circled from behind. using the alien tech they had recovered. They jammed its sensors and disabled its weapons temporarily. Then, with precise timing, they struck the ship's weak points, causing massive internal damage. The alien ship exploded in a brilliant flash, sending debris spinning in every direction. The human fighters cheered, but the celebration was short-lived. The Zerithian fleet would regroup, and the war was far from over. Arin looked around at his exhausted crew. "We made them bleed," he said quietly. "We showed them humans are not easy prey. And this is only the beginning." Mara approached him, eyes wide. "Captain, we're doing the impossible. They can't understand us. They can't predict us." Arin nodded. "That's humanity's edge. They think technology wins wars. We know courage, strategy, and adaptability can turn the tide. Remember this. Fear is their weapon. But we are unpredictable. That is our strength." Outside the Vigilant, the stars were silent witnesses to the human strike. The alien fleet, battered and confused, pulled back to regroup. Humanity had survived again, and this time they had fought back. But Arin knew the victory was temporary. The Zerithians would return stronger and smarter. And next time, the humans would have to be ready, not just to survive, but to turn the war in their favor. For now, though, humanity had won a small but meaningful victory. And in the hearts of every human watching the skies, a new fire burned. A fire of defiance, courage, and hope. As Arin stared into the void, he whispered, "They came for peace, but humanity strikes back, and we will not be broken." The Vigilant floated on, carrying the spark of rebellion into the dark depths of space, ready for whatever the Zerithians would throw at them next. Victory had a bitter taste. The Vigilant returned to the nearest human station for repairs, its hull scarred and system strained. The crew celebrated in silence, aware that the war was far from over. Captain Arin Sorel walked through the corridors, observing the tired faces of his officers. Courage alone would not win this war. Humans needed to be smart, united, and cautious. "Captain," Lieutenant Mara said, approaching quickly, "we've received strange reports from several colonies. Communications are being tampered with, supply ships sabotaged. Some transmissions, they don't seem human." Arin frowned. "Explain." Mara hesitated. "It seems the Zerithians have infiltrated human worlds. Spies, disguised as humans. They're subtle, but their influence is growing. Some leaders may not even realize they are being manipulated." Arin's eyes narrowed. "We face their ships in open battle. But this, a hidden enemy within? This changes everything. Alert all stations. Begin verification protocols. No one can be trusted until we know for sure." The next days were tense. Every communication, every shipment, every officer was scrutinized. Humans began to suspect each other, and fear grew. Crew members whispered about who could be a spy. The Zerithians were patient. They did not strike openly, but they sowed distrust, hoping it would weaken humanity from the inside. Arin held a strategy meeting with his senior officers. "We cannot fight an enemy we cannot see, but we can predict them. They leave traces. Every deception, every subtle move leaves evidence. Mara, I want a full analysis of colony transmissions. Core, prepare a secure fleet in case of sudden attacks." Hours later, Mara discovered pattern. Certain transmissions contain hidden codes, messages meant to guide sabotage and mislead human leaders. Some of these messages had already caused minor disasters. Damaged supplies, false alerts, even conflicts among colonies. Arin studied the data, heart pounding. They're playing a long game. They want humanity divided and confused, but we will not let them succeed. He devised a trap. Using the knowledge from the alien debris, the Vigilant sent out a controlled false transmission. It hinted at a critical supply convoy that did not exist. Then they waited. Within hours, the alien spies revealed themselves. A small, stealthy alien craft appeared near a human outpost, trying to intercept the convoy. The trap was sprung. Using newly adapted alien tech, human defenses disabled the craft without loss. Mara's eyes widened. It worked. We identified a spy network. Arin nodded. Good. But this is just one thread. There are more. The Zerithians are patient. We need to remain vigilant. The tension among humans grew. Some colonists feared betrayal so much that they began distrustful surveillance of each other. Arguments erupted over security protocols. Arin knew this paranoia was dangerous. It could weaken morale. But he also understood that fear was a tool the Zerithians loved to use. He walked the observation deck at night, staring at the stars. They think humans will crumble from within, but they don't understand us. We are resourceful. We fight for each other, for our homes, for survival, and we will not yield. The crew worked tirelessly to root out every infiltrator. Slowly, humans regained control. The spies were captured or eliminated. Communications were secured. Trust, though shaken, began to return. Arin gathered his officers. We have survived attacks from without and within. This proves something important. Humanity is not just strong because of technology or numbers. We are strong because of courage, intelligence, and our will to survive. Remember this. Fear can be used against us, but it will not define us. Outside, the stars were calm again, but Arin knew the quiet was temporary. The Zerithians were cunning, patient, and relentless. Every moment of peace was a chance to prepare, to strengthen, to learn. As the Vigilant glided through the void, Arin whispered, "We have faced a hidden enemy, and we have endured. Next time, we will strike even harder. Humanity will not be fooled. Humanity will not be broken." The crew returned to their duties, alert but resolute. The war had many fronts: open battle, guerrilla tactics, and hidden threats. Humanity had survived each, and with each challenge, they became stronger, smarter, and more determined. For the first time, Arin allowed himself a small smile. The Zerithians had underestimated humans. They believed deception and fear could conquer species. But humans adapted, learned, and struck back. And the hidden enemy was only the beginning. The Vigilant floated through the silent void, but the calm was deceptive. Humanity had survived the first strikes and uncovered the alien spies. But the Zerithians were far from defeated. Captain Arin Sorel paced a bridge, studying star maps and energy readings. The war had shifted. Now humans needed more than courage. They needed innovation. "Captain," Lieutenant Mara said, "our engineers have been working on adapting the alien tech we recovered. If we integrate it with our weapons, we could increase range and accuracy dramatically." Arin's eyes lit up. "Show me." Mara displayed the schematics on the holographic table. Energy weapons could be modified to bypass alien shields. Fighters could move faster using alien propulsion designs. Even communication systems could be enhanced to avoid Zerithian jamming. "This could change everything," Arin said, voice low but full of determination. "We take the fight to them. We turn the tide." The crew worked tirelessly. Every station, every ship in the fleet was retrofitted with experimental weapons and defensive systems. Human engineers tested alien energy shields, reverse-engineered targeting algorithms, and improved fighter maneuverability. It was risky. One failure could destroy them all, but the potential reward was worth it. Days later, the fleet was ready. Hundreds of human ships, small and large, gathered in formation near the edge of the Orion sector. Arin addressed his officers. "The Zerithians think they control the galaxy. They underestimate human ingenuity. Today, we show them that courage, strategy, and quick thinking can beat raw power." The first clash came swiftly. Alien patrols moved into the sector, expecting an easy victory. But humans were ready. Modified weapons pierced alien shields, and fighters darted unpredictably, confusing the enemy sensors. Direct hit on the Vanguard. Cores shouted as an alien ship exploded in a burst of green light. They didn't see it coming. Arin smiled grimly. "Keep pushing. Strike fast, retreat faster. We hit them where it hurts and vanish before they can regroup." The battle was intense. Human ships twisted through asteroid fields, using debris as cover, while energy pulses streaked across space. The Zerithians fired relentlessly, but humans were no longer passive. They adapted quickly, exploiting weaknesses discovered from the debris of previous encounters. Amid the chaos, a massive alien battleship appeared, larger and more powerful than any humans had faced before. Its energy beams cut through space like blades. Human fighters faltered under the immense firepower. Arin's voice was calm but commanding. All units, focus on the battleship's weak points. Use the modified drones. Draw into the asteroid field. I want a coordinated strike from all angles. The plan was risky, bordering on suicidal, but the crew trusted their captain. Human drones zipped through space, jamming sensors and delivering precise charges. Fighters flanked the massive vessel, firing at points where the alien shields were weakest. The battleship shuddered. Sparks of energy leaked from its hull. Arin's heart pounded as he watched the strategy unfold perfectly. One final coordinated strike, and the vessel exploded, sending debris spinning across the void. The Zerithian fleet faltered. Their vanguard destroyed, they were disoriented and vulnerable. Human ships pressed the advantage, using speed and precision to hit targets before retreating. For the first time, humans were not just surviving, they were winning. Mara approached Arin, wide-eyed. Captain, we're doing it. We're turning the tide. Arin nodded. Yes, but stay sharp. They will not give up easily. This victory is just the beginning. Even as humans celebrated their success, Arin knew the war was far from over. The Zerithians would adapt, plan, and return with greater force. But humanity had proven something crucial. They were not predictable, not weak, and not afraid to fight. Outside the Vigilant, the stars shimmered silently, witnessing the courage and ingenuity of a species determined to survive. Humans had turned desperation into strategy, fear into innovation, and vulnerability into power. Arin stood at the observation deck, looking at the debris of alien ships scattered across the void. They thought they could crush us, he whispered, but they underestimated human spirit. They underestimated our will to survive. The fleet regrouped, battered but victorious. Humanity had survived impossible odds before, and now they had proven they could do more. They could fight back, and perhaps one day claim victory. The war had changed. The Zerithians had faced humanity at full strength and learned a painful lesson. Humans were resilient, clever, and deadly when cornered. And as long as Captain Arin and his crew stood watch, humanity would continue to fight, adapt, and endure. The stars seemed calm again, but Captain Arin Sorel knew better. The Zerithians were patient, cunning, and relentless. After humanity's recent victories, the alien commanders grew cautious. And now they offered a new message, a proposal for negotiation. Captain, Lieutenant Mara said, her voice tense, the Zerithians want to discuss terms. They claim they want peace and trade. They're sending a fleet to a neutral zone. Arin studied the holographic message carefully. The words were smooth, almost diplomatic. Peace or another trap, he murmured. We can't trust them. They think humanity can be fooled by appearances. They're wrong. Even as humans prepared for the meeting, doubts and debates erupted among the colonies. Some leaders argued that negotiation could save lives. Others insisted it was a trick. Fear and hope battled within human hearts. Arin gathered his senior officers. Listen carefully. This is likely a trap. But we cannot ignore it completely. We will go, but we go with full precautions. Shields up, weapons ready, and no one goes unprepared. Every step must be calculated. The human delegation entered the neutral zone aboard heavily armed ships. Alien vessels loomed across the dark void, sleek and silent. The Zerithian commanders projected holograms of themselves, tall and imposing, yet strangely calm. Humans, the lead alien said, voice smooth, we seek peace. Let the past conflicts end. Join us, and we can share technology, knowledge, and prosperity. Arin's eyes narrowed. And yet, you attacked our colonies first, then struck again. How is that peace? The alien commander smiled faintly. War is regrettable, but cooperation is beneficial. Humanity must choose wisely. The calm words masked danger. Arin could feel it in his gut. Something was wrong. Every movement, every pause, every word had the precision of a trap waiting to snap. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Vigilant. Sensors detected dozens of hidden alien ships emerging from stealth mode, surrounding the human fleet. Betrayal, Kor shouted. It's a trap. They're attacking. Arin didn't flinch. All ships, engage defensive protocols. Shields full, weapons hot. Execute evasive maneuvers. We fight on our terms, not theirs. The battle erupted instantly. Alien energy beams lit up the void like streaks of fire. Human ships twisted and darted, using every trick, every tactic learned from previous battles. The Zerithians were strong, but humans were unpredictable. Mara pointed at the enemy formation. "Captain, they're focusing on the command ships." Arin gritted his teeth. "Then we make them pay. Target their lead vessels. Use the alien tech we've recovered. Force them to fight on our terms." The Vigilant and its squadron struck with precision. Drones disrupted enemy sensors. Fighters darted in and out of asteroid fields, confusing the alien weapons. One by one, key alien ships were disabled, their formations falling apart. Even in betrayal, humanity found strength. Fear and uncertainty became fuel for determination. The aliens assumed humans could be trapped and broken, but humans adapted instantly. Arin watched the battlefield unfold. "They underestimated us again," he muttered. "Humans are not predictable. We do not surrender, and we do not fear betrayal." Hours passed like minutes. The Zerithians, caught off guard by human ingenuity and resilience, began to retreat. They regrouped in the darkness, nursing losses and recalculating strategies. Mara approached Arin, voice filled with awe. "Captain, we survived another trap, and we fought back stronger than ever." Arin nodded. "Yes, but this shows the war isn't just about strength. It's about trust, caution, and knowing your enemy. The Zerithians will come again, but we are learning, and every time we learn, we grow stronger." The human fleet limped back to a safe sector. Ships were damaged, crews exhausted, but morale soared. Humanity had survived the ultimate betrayal and proved that courage, strategy, and unity could withstand deception. Arin walked the observation deck alone, staring at the stars. The betrayal burned his mind, but he allowed himself a moment of pride. Humanity had endured, adapted, and struck back. "They think trickery will defeat us," he whispered. "But humanity is clever, resilient, and fearless. We learn, we fight, and we survive. Betrayal will never break us." The stars were silent, but the fire in human hearts blazed brighter than ever. The war would continue. But for the first time, the humans held not just hope. They held power, strategy, and the determination to never yield. The ultimate betrayal had come, and humanity had survived it. The stars above glimmered cold and silent. But Captain Arin Sorel felt the fire of determination burn hotter than ever. The Zerithians had struck, betrayed, and tested humanity at every turn. But now the humans were ready. Every loss, every narrow escape had taught them something new. And this time, humanity would not falter. The Vigilant led a massive human fleet toward the core of the Zerithian advance. Hundreds of ships, all retrofitted with alien technology, moved in formation. Fighters zipped between larger vessels. Drones hummed with energy, and every crew member braced for the battle to come. "Captain," Mara said, pointing at the holographic map, "the main Zerithian fleet is positioned near the Hades sector. They're waiting. If we strike now, it could end badly, but we could finally turn the war in our favor." Arin's eyes hardened. "We strike. Full force. We've learned their tactics, their weaknesses. Today, humanity fights not just to survive, but to claim victory." The fleet entered the Hades sector. Silence fell, thick and heavy. Then, like a storm breaking, the Zerithians attacked. Energy beams tore through space, colliding with human shields in showers of sparks and light. Explosions rocked the fleet. Chaos threatened to overtake them. "Hold formation," Arin shouted. "Deploy drones and fighters. Aim for their shield generators first." The human fleet moved with precision. Using alien tech, their weapons bypassed the Zerithian shields, striking at vulnerable points. Fighters darted through debris and asteroid fields, confusing enemy sensors. Every maneuver was calculated, every strike decisive. Arin piloted the Vigilant directly into the fray, energy shields glowing as alien blasts struck and deflected. He shouted orders, adjusted strategies, and inspired his crew through every chaotic second. Humanity's spirit burned bright amidst the carnage. Hours passed in a blur of battle. Ships exploded. Lasers streaked across space, and the screams of alarms filled corridors. But humans refused to yield. Every tactic learned from previous encounters was used, every bit of alien tech mastered. And slowly, the tide began to turn. The lead Zerithian command ship, massive and imposing, moved forward to crush the human fleet. Arin studied its energy patterns. Focus all fire on its core. Mara, prepare the drones for synchronized strike. Core, get the fighters in position. We hit together. The human fleet attacked as one. Drones disabled shields, fighters pierced hulls, and energy beams struck with unmatched precision. The command ship shuddered. Sparks flew from its hull. Then, with a final, brilliant explosion, it erupted into fragments, scattering across the void. A cheer erupted across the human fleet. Humanity had done the impossible. They had defeated the enemy's strongest ship, breaking the morale of the remaining Zerithian forces. The fleet began to retreat, battered and confused. Humanity was victorious. Arin looked out at the stars, sweat and soot streaked across his face. They came thinking we would kneel, he said softly. But humans never yield. Not now. Not ever. Mara approached him, her eyes shining with pride. Captain, we did it. We survived everything and we won. Arin shook his head slowly. It's more than victory. It's proof. Humanity is clever, resilient, and courageous. We fight not because we want to, but because we must. And no alien force, no matter how advanced, can break that. The fleet regrouped, repairing damage and tending to the wounded. Humanity had paid a heavy price, but the cost was worth it. They had survived impossible odds, learned from every encounter, and turned the tide of war. From the observation deck of the Vigilant, Arin stared into the void. The Zerithians were retreating, but he knew they might return. Still, humans had something the aliens could not understand. Courage, unpredictability, and the will to fight for every breath of freedom. They thought we could be crushed, he whispered. They thought fear and technology would defeat us. But they were wrong. Humanity stands unbroken, unyielding, and we will continue to rise. The stars remained silent witnesses as the human fleet glided through the void. Humanity had survived the traps, the betrayals, and the overwhelming force of the Zerithians. And one thing was certain, humans would not yield, ever. The war was over for now. But the legend of humanity's courage, ingenuity, and relentless spirit had begun, a warning to any who would challenge them in the cosmos. Captain Arin Sorel clenched his fists, looking at the horizon of stars. We fight, we endure, and we will never surrender. Humanity will always prevail.